Angela from Angela Remade, and today we are installing vertical shiplap on our new wall. In case you missed any of the past videos, we built a wall from scratch. We built this wall to create an office space on the other side of the wall. We finished one side of the wall off with a DIY beadboard, which is the back of this wall. I love vertical shiplap. I think it adds a ton of character and it gives it a modern look, but it still adds coziness and style to a space. To install vertical shiplap, if you had drywall up, you would just find the wall studs and you would nail into them, and if you couldn't hit enough wall studs, which for a lot of the boards you wouldn't be able to because the boards are going vertically, you would need to apply liquid nails to the back of the board. We used this method for our vertical shiplap in our bathroom makeover that we did when we just did like a wainscoting halfway up the wall. But because we built our wall from scratch, we are going to add cross bracing, which are horizontal studs along the back of our wall, so that we can just nail into them for our shiplap boards, and then we don't have to mess with liquid nails. I also want to add some studs in the middle of the wall for where we might want to hang some artwork. And then that way we can just screw right into the stud and we don't have to worry about wall anchors. That's really one of the most amazing things about building your own wall, is you can plan these things out before you cover the other side up. For this project, we're going to be using real shiplap. This is what it looks like from the front. It has a tongue and a groove edge to it, so the boards just connect together, and it's made out of real wood. We've used these real shiplap boards for a lot of other projects in the past, like our bathroom ceiling and our double barn doors. They work really well and they install easy. They're pretty affordable, and I love that they come pre-primed and ready to paint, so it just makes this process go a lot smoother. They are a little more expensive than doing the faux shiplap treatment with 1/4-inch plywood like I did for our bathroom makeover, and I'll link that video below. But let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark 72 inches from the ground to right here on the wall stud, so we know where to hang our cross brace for if we wanted to add art here on the other side of the wall. We can just screw right into it. Now that we have our cross spacing up, we can go ahead and get started with the installation of the shiplap boards. And we're going to be starting in this left corner over here. It's really important for the first board that not only do you install it level, but that you put this like flat edge right up against the wall and not the like tongue edge of the board. If you saw my beadboard video the other week where we installed the beadboard the wrong edge direction, we had to like take it down and reinstall it. So it's important to just install the board the right way the first time so you don't have to redo it, and learn from our lesson. Also, one other thing to note is for these first few boards, we won't have to trim them. They're 8 feet tall and they just fit in the space here, but as our wall goes this way, our ceiling kind of goes down, so we're probably going to have to trim like an inch or two off the top of them, but that's okay because we are going to be installing crown molding, so we're not installing these with like a really tight fit up against the ceiling. Another thing about this wall is we've had a lot of comments and questions about if we're adding insulation to it, and we're not. The reason we decided not to spend the time or money or effort on putting insulation on this wall is because the other side of the wall where the entrance is going to be left open. We're not going to put the doors back on. There's also an interior window, so there's really no point to adding insulation to try to create any kind of sound barrier because it wouldn't do much with the other side open. Something that I've noticed about these shiplap boards as we have installed them is that they were not all milled the same way. They're not all totally straight, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I can definitely notice it in person that some of the gaps like right here's a really bad one, are not even like they should be. And this has never happened to me before with the shiplap boards from Home Depot, but I will definitely not buy them there ever again. And I will stick to the ones at Lowe's because they've never done this either. But it's something to be aware of when you buy the boards, to just like put them together and make sure that the edges, the gaps, are gonna be totally even from top to bottom. Because if not, then you'll be stuck with a few uneven gaps like we have. These uneven gaps really bother me, and I would love to have just taken it all down and buy new boards that are perfectly straight and reinstall them. But Brandon says no. We really just don't have the budget for it or the time to redo it. So I'm just gonna have to live with it, and you know, it bothers me, but I'm hoping once we paint it the white color, it won't be as noticeable. It's also not all of them, it's just a few of them here and there. I guess you could say I'm a perfectionist when it comes to these kind of things. Brandon, doesn't bother him at all, but me, it'll just always bother me. So we only have a few boards left to do at the end, but the last few boards that we saved for the end are actually, they're just really crooked. So we're gonna return them and look for some fresh straight boards, and then we can finish this wall up tomorrow. Good morning. We are going to finish installing this last bit of shiplap today. Brandon found some straighter boards at Home Depot, and I'm excited to get them installed and get this wall wrapped up. Okay, we've finally reached the very last board at the end of the wall here, and we're gonna have to rip cut this board so that it's the exact same width as the remaining opening. So I'm just gonna measure what that opening is, and then we'll transfer that to the board to cut it. Also, I wanted to mention that you can leave about an 1/8 inch less than the actual measurement, because that way you give yourself a little wiggle room for getting that last board in, and then you can just caulk the difference. Meanwhile, Chance is just living his best life out in the rain while we finish up our project. Come on, Chance, it's time to come in. You're getting all wet. Now that we're all finished installing our vertical shiplap, we can install our crown molding and our baseboard, because I'm going to be painting them the same color, and then we can prep for paint and fill all the nail holes and do all the caulking, and then it'll finally be time to actually paint it. I'm super excited about the paint color. I'm going to be doing Swiss Coffee by Benjamin Moore. It's a really beautiful paint color, so I can't wait to see what it looks like all painted. I absolutely love how our DIY shiplap wall turned out. It brings so much warmth and character to our home now. And I really love how the white paint color looks too in the morning, afternoon, and evening light. Let me know what you think and if you have any questions in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe and follow along as we continue our fun DIY projects on our new home. Thank you for watching.